Live on BROfessor BATS and Friends. Welcome to the show. Here we go. Boom! Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for being here on a nice and brisk Tuesday, Taco Tuesday in January. Appreciate you being here as we are live in two different states tonight. Two different states. We got Tony with Northwest Arkansas, and we got my good friend Porker from Almost Heaven, West Virginia Adventures in West Virginia. Welcome to the show. Hey, thank
What's happening?
Thank you for having me.
Man, yeah. Whew, I'll tell you what, this has been a crazy week. Crazy week so far. It's only Tuesday, but between now and last week, I actually caught the COVID. I mean, it just caught up with me. I've been dodging it for a couple of years now, and it caught me, and it was like the best sickness I ever had because all I had was a little bit of a cough. Freaked people out at work. They said, you need to go get tested. I got tested. I tested positive. I got 4 days off at work, and I got a lot done. Man, I felt great. I took me some cough drops and I felt great. Never ran fever, never had anything, and I was just good to go. So anyway, good to go. I was got a lot done. Got the FJ. I had a whole bunch of stuff in here. I was really nervous about working on the FJ, about getting the bumper because of all the pieces, the moving parts. I'd never done that before. And I just said, screw it, I'm going to try. So anyway, I got out there and Connie helped me set it up there with the motorcycle jack, and I got it on and got it done. And then we got the lift on. Tony helped me with the lift and no more sagging in the back for the FJ. Tony, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you helping with that. Actually, you didn't help me. I helped you. You did most of the work.
Yeah, that was an experience of a lifetime.
Tony got his license to work on Toyotas now, and so he looked under there and he said, "This don't look like anything I've worked on."
No,
I was like, oh, this ain't good.
But, I mean, the back end was pretty close to the same, but that IFS front was a little different.
Well, we spent about 9 hours on the front, about 45 minutes on the back. So
yeah,
it's
it's a fact.
It was a little different, and I really got nervous because when we put the new shocks or struts on the front, the new springs, and we went to go jack it up, and I was under the lower control arm to jack the vehicle up, and the spring did not give it all. It was jacking the whole vehicle up. I was like, man, if this thing is 9 foot tall on the front and I can't even see my battery, it's going to be bad. But it's settled, and it's leveled out now, and everything is great, and I'm so freaking excited. So
I can't wait to see it.
Man, evening, Travis. Thank you for joining us.
Travis?
And Arla's on here.
Oh, hey, I know her.
Our number one fan. Arla, thank you for being on here. Thank you for joining the show. What have y'all had going on this week?
Man, other than what you just talked about this weekend, my week was basically just kind of straightening up organization in the garage,
Picking up all the stuff that I had you get out and mess
Well,
around with.
you know that, but Christmas, we still had Christmas stuff to put up in the attic and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I was this week's been kind of just finishing up all that stuff and getting the garage ready for other projects.
Well, I know you had a lot of Christmas stuff to put up and organize because it looked like Walmart's Christmas section when I got in that garage.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I was very impressed as to your tool organization and all that. But let me tell you, you're going to feel really bad when you go to West Virginia and see the organization that these guys at Autotronics have with their tools. It is unbelievable.
I'm going to look like a rookie, I'm sure.
Porker and Shane have these alarms go off when somebody touches one of their tools. It's just like, woo, 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 woo. They know it, and they check it every single time before they go in and make sure it's put back in the right spot. It's unbelievable.
Awesome.
Unbelievable. So anyway, Porker, I know you've had a lot going on, brother.
It has been a week, and it's just Tuesday. I've been going nonstop. Been opening a lot of boxes. Got a lot of work to do between now and June, getting the old original pork taco ready for the big adventure. Taking her one day at a time.
We have a glimpse of the original pork taco here. This I don't know if you can read that license plate on the front, but it does say the original pork taco on it. Tell us, how in the world did you come about getting a taco?
Well,
I like them red shackles on there, though.
I love them red. Those look just like yours, by the way.
Oh, I love those red shackles.
I had a Bronco 2 Sport.
A new one, not a
brand new one, 2021.
Yeah.
And, I came from a Ford Escape because I like the little SUVs. So, it was an easy transition for me. And I thought I was going to build that vehicle up to do a lower level of this overlanding, we'll call it. And spent thousands of dollars in upgrades on that car. And, it took us a lot of fun adventures over the year of 2021. We probably done close to 8,000 miles here in West Virginia in the mountains. We had a lot of fun with it, but we did go to a friend of ours' camp, and the road was a little rough. I don't want to say it was, really, really bad, but it was rough for a small sized SUV to go down. And after we headed out of there and got on the main road, the Bronco was making a noise. And took it to the dealership, and there's like, good God, where you been in this thing? Tore the bottom of it up pretty good. It's it's all aluminum. Gashed it up pretty good. I'd crammed I'd drug over something, tore the front skid plate up, and then I wrapped the heat shield around the yoke on the rear end, and it was clanging. And I was like, So got to talking it over with Mama there, and she had a newer Ford Fusion, and we decided we was going to get something that would do what we wanted to do. So we went up and traded in and got her a 4Runner. We actually was going to get a Bronco, but that's another story. But ended up getting a 4Runner. Absolutely fell in love with it. And I was like, well, we'll take this when we want to do my sort of stuff. And then whenever we're just tooling around on forest roads, we'll take the Bronco. Well, that didn't sit well in my mind. It sounded good on paper. It just didn't sit well in my mind that she could go places in her car that I couldn't. So,
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So we decided that we was going to actually go get a Platinum 4Runner, and I was going to take her 4Runner. So we went up to do a test ride, and as we're pulling up into the dealership, you got around the curve, and here sat this Tacoma, and it just said, "Oh,
the Angels thing."
Yeah. I didn't say anything. So we go down and we test drive the Platinum, and I'd asked the salesman, what it was. And he said, man, that's practically brand new. We just got it in yesterday, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So we go for a test ride in the Platinum. We're probably gone an hour. Come back. He put dealer tags on it. So we test drove it. Went down the road, got on a straight stretch, and I romped down on that thing. And I looked over at her and it's like, you're not getting that Platinum. So taking this thing home today. So the Taco was born. And you know,
There we go.
this makes the sixth Toyota I've had in my lifetime. So you know, they're great vehicles. The body's come a long way, obviously, since the younger years. But you know, you look at all of the Tacomas that are in the overlanding. So you know, it's a perfect platform to build an ideal rig on. So it was an easy choice for me.
As far as options and gear available, it's probably the number one choice. I think I see more of those than I see of any.
You know,
there's just a ton of them out there and a ton of options that you can put on them, as I'm sure that you have researched.
And I got to watch what I'm saying because I see somebody's in the group here, in the chat. But you know, if Clay builds most of their overland adventures around the Tacoma, that speaks for itself. Because you know, we go to some places, but they go to some places, and they beat these rigs to pieces, and yet he continues to build that relationship with Toyota. So you know, you can't go wrong with it.
I agree. Well, what you know, I visited you out there several times, and y'all have with the Autotronics business that you have out there dealing with emergency lighting and all that. You actually took some time, 2 different times, to install all the lights on my vehicle, and you got to see my vehicle up close. And then the last time I was there, we actually got to go out, and
that's what
we went up some just out of the way off road. I mean, we didn't have to drive 2 miles to get to this place, and went out there, and I set the awning up and flew the drone and had a big old time. What about doing this really interested you and got you wanting to build this up and do this?
Well, you know, it takes me back a lot to my childhood. I spent the better part of my school years camping. You know, I was Eagle Scout. My grandparents camped all summer. You know, my dad was a coal miner. My mom worked, so I generally spent the summers with the grandparents. And you know, we didn't just go camping for a weekend or a week. We went for the entire summer. We'd stay the entire summer, generally, you know, camping along the river. Then we'd spend the last week of the summer at the state fair. And, you know, I'd progressed through my life always camping until, you know, I got into my second wife, and, you know, she hated camping. So it took a back seat. And then, you know, here we are on the third one, and she's not a big fan of it either. She's coming around, but, you know, she hated it as well. But, you know, off-roading, I've done it for years in my younger years, but as I gotten older, I kind of took interest in other things. But you know, get to hanging out with you, then the influence that you are has piqued my interest in it again. And I thought I would start out small and would be content with the Bronco, and we found out in less than a year that wasn't going to happen. So here we are with the Taco, and you know, Sasha and I have talked extensively about it. She 100% supports, you know, what I'm doing. She's behind me. There's no squabble there. We play a lot, you know that, but she supports me, and she wants me to go out and do things. So I'm going to return to the roots that I grew up on. So I'm heading back out.
Well, Sasha, being one of my wife's best friends, if not her best friend, we know her well, and we know that she's said all along that her idea of camping is Marriott, because that's where she stays away from home. And I remember when you got your Bronco. I remember when you got your Bronco, we saw y'all going out. And when I was there, we took the Bronco out. We went and found some places that you hadn't seen in years. I mean, close to your hometown.
Right here,
we saw where out where the big wind turbines are, and got to adventure a little bit out there. And next thing I know, when she got her 4Runner, it was like every other day y'all were going somewhere, and you started doing water crossings, and you started doing things a little bit harder. And I
Day
told Connie,
3.
I said, Sasha's going and she likes it. I said, this is shocking to me. She's coming along. She's coming along.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, and I don't know about Tony, but when I was camping as a kid, there was no such thing as comfort.
Nope.
I mean, you just went, and if you threw a sleeping
Slept
bag on the ground, you went. If you had a tent, you still slept on the ground. You got cold, you got wet. It was just all part of it. But back then, you didn't care. But now, there's so much stuff out there and so much gear to make you comfortable and more enjoyable, because now I'm old and I don't like getting cold and I don't like getting wet. And so they make things to keep you from doing that. And
the ones that I want to go with really don't like getting cold and wet. So
when my feet gets wet or cold, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's become and you see the things out there that make you comfortable. And I know when my vehicle was there, you were able to see the rooftop tent, the fridges, all the gear and everything that makes you comfortable. And I remember us having long talks about it, and it became a topic of conversation. And I could tell this is something that, when you get old and your body doesn't work like it used to, and you can't do the things that you used to do, or the hobbies that you used to have that you love, like we had, like riding motorcycles. If you get to where that's not fun anymore and it's more pain than it is enjoyable, you have a void there that you want to fill. And for me, this was the same way. I can't ride 1,000 miles in 24 hours on a Harley like I used to. And I probably could. It would just hurt a lot more, but and I wouldn't enjoy it. So,
yeah, I mean, it's about getting out and enjoying it with friends. And to me, it also helps keep that connection with the memories of camping when I was a kid. So,
yeah, right on, right there with you.
Meeting new friends, and like Michael Kreider watching, he's been a good friend, and he was a big part of this lift kit that we did. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate Michael like nobody's business. I mean, he came in there and he just took over and brought tools I'd never seen, I'd never heard of.
Oh, that ball joint
made the
press
job
was
a lot easier.
incredible.
And I don't know if he knew what he was doing, but he sure acted like he knew what he was doing.
Oh,
the video showed me he knew what he was doing. I watched your videos there. I was like, that guy knows what he's doing.
Let me tell you, when that thing popped,
that ball joint popped out of there.
When that ball joint popped, I almost pooped my pants. I thought the whole thing had come apart. I thought I'm gonna have to trade and get a new car. It was bad. And then he was like, he was the only one that didn't jump out of all of us. And he was like, yep, we got her. And I was like, what? You didn't break it? I thought you broke it.
It's just been set in there for so long with so much weight on it, you had to pop it.
200,000 miles. That was the original upper ball joint for 200,000 miles.
Yeah.
And
you can't ask for much more than that, man.
It needed to come out, but it was not willing. So we had to encourage it a little bit. But,
I mean, even the new ones fought us going in. So,
yeah, for sure. Oh, my goodness. Well, we want to talk about 2022 and all the different things that are coming up this year that we have on our calendar. We want to share that with you. And if you're out there listening and you have some things on your calendar that we don't mention, we actually want you to throw those out there in the comments so that we can add those to our list.
Absolutely.
But first, we want to share with you a spotlight. We want to do a sponsor spotlight. We have started this new year. We have some amazing sponsors for the show. And this year, we have some amazing sponsors. So tonight, we're going to have a sponsor spotlight.
It's now time for the sponsor spotlight, talking about all the products, services, events, and businesses that we use and love. Here we go.
So tonight, our sponsor spotlight that we have is none other than Midland. Midland has come on as a sponsor of the show, and we are excited to have Midland on here I believe all of us use Midland radios, and
Multiple
Porter actually
Midland radios.
installed my 40-watt and my Midland ham radio for me when I was there last time.
Awesome.
And so I have this one here. This is the one that's going to go in my wife's FJ. I just hadn't got around to it yet. This is the 15-watt. And I chose this one, and I love this one because it has a head unit that you keep under the seat. And
I want that one for mine.
The mic. Mm-hmm. So I love that. I love not having to put a big unit somewhere or install it, mount it where it's in the way all the time, where it's ugly. So 15 watts is more than she'll ever need. And I think it's
anyone really.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's plenty of watts for anyone.
That's true. And I talked to Tony about that. He said, they got the new 50 watt that's out, and I've got a pretty picture of it. I mean, it's a pretty thing. There it is. It's the new 50 watt that they have come out.
That's the new hotness.
It is the new hotness. It is the hot thing going right now. But I told Tony, I said, very few times do I have to talk to anybody that's several miles away. Most of the time, everybody's right there with us or within 100 yards. But the bad thing about having a lot of wattage is you have to hear a lot of stuff that you don't want to hear. I get a lot of ham operators on there that I listen to and talk to that I don't know, and it really inhibits the people that I want to talk to. But there's a lot of options out there, and Midland has all your options. Now, Porker, have you looked on Midland's site lately? They have taken their ham radio off. Do you know if they're not offering that anymore?
I don't know for sure, but it looks as if that could be a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the reason that they did that, but it's and Tony, we haven't talked about this either, but I didn't see their ham radio on there. They may be replacing that and just going with the FSR instead of the hams and concentrating on something now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, I have
anything on it.
My primary radio in my car is a ham radio.
Mm-hmm.
I don't figure I will take that out. I'd like to have that 125 for mine as well, because I can do with a modification to my ham radio GMRS if I need to, but I generally carry a handheld in there because I don't want to miss out on my ham radio activity as well. So I'll probably get one of those before our trip and put it in the rig as well.
Awesome.
Speaking of new sponsors, there's MC Ranch Overland.
MC Ranch Overland has joined us from all the way
Mr.
up in North America.
Yeah.
They're way up there where it's cold, up in Canada. Mike, Carolyn, Sam, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming on as one of our sponsors. They have, Tony, you have visited with them. Talk about the product they have.
So they have the original fire reflector. We've got some stuff happening with that coming up soon, but basically we got that dude right here. So you'll set that up around your fire, and it'll reflect the heat and the light back to you.
Nice.
Increasing the experience around the fire. So we're super excited to get out and try that out.
British Columbia. That's
British Columbia. Yeah.
Awesome.
He told me that, but I couldn't remember.
Well, I don't know much about Canada. I have been there, but don't know much about it. I hope to spend a lot of time there one of these days when I retire, because I know when I go up there, I will not want to come home. It's beautiful up there.
That's right.
But we appreciate you joining us, and so we love our sponsors. Y'all make us what we are every single week, and we're going to have a sponsor spotlight. Talk about the things that we love, the people that we use, and the events that we go to. And talking about events, Tony has put a bunch of stuff on our calendar for 2022. And if you've got your calendars handy, we're going to talk about the things that we have as far as expos. Tony, what do we got on the calendar?
So the first one coming up in April is the More Expo. It's up in Springfield at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. April 8th through the 10th.
April 8th through the 10th. That's in Springfield, Missouri.
Yep.
Our good friend Chris, who is also a sponsor of the show, puts on a great event up there. He had, this is going to be the third year. The first year was 50,000 square feet and about 40 vendors. Last year it was over 100,000 square feet and over 100 vendors. This year it's spilling over outside.
Yeah.
It's moved it from February to April. The weather's going to be a lot better. And so we have got a lot of things to look forward to there. I know I'll be there. Tony will be there. Tony got a surprise announcement about where he's going to be in that, hopefully here pretty soon. I'm going to be in the Artemis booth showing off the Howling Moons. And there's going to be all kinds of stuff from Chris has told us about a electric bike course that's going to be out there. They've got some storytellers that are going to be there, which are YouTube people, social media people that are just going to be out there just hanging out. They've got a place where you can go and they'll fix you some mixed drinks, plus all the vendors. And it's just going to be a super cool deal. You can actually camp on site this year. So More Expo is going to be awesome. April 8th through the 10th. That's definitely one that you do not want to miss.
Yep. So excited. Man, I can't wait.
Pretty
Such
pumped
an awesome
about
year.
that. Yeah. We also have Overland Expo West, which is going to be May 20th through the 22nd. This is, how do you pronounce that county park?
Fort Tuthill?
Tuttle.
Tuttle?
Is it Tuttle or Tut Hill?
Tuthill
It's in
County Park.
Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff, and don't be fooled by the Arizona thinking it's going to be hot. Okay, Southern Arizona is hot. Flagstaff is in the north in the mountains, and almost every year I see people camped up there, and it snows in May. So It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area. Always, this is the original and the largest expo that you can go to. There's more vendors here than at any other one, and it is by far and away the biggest and one that you can go to. So Overland Expo West is always a good time.
Yep.
Pacific Northwest is going to be July 8th through the 10th. This is in Bend, Oregon. So if you're way up northwest, that's going to be somewhere that you might want to attend if you want to see all the newest, greatest, and latest things that are out there. Deschutes County Expo Center. That's where they have that. And then the Artemis Expo. This is a little bit different than the large expos. It is at Artemis, which is in Springfield. It's going to be August the 6th, which is going to be the first Saturday in August. Aaron always has some vendors come in that he uses there at Artemis. It's right there behind Artemis. It's a lot smaller than the rest of them, but it's a great time. People come and camp in the back parking lot and just have a good old time. He usually feeds everybody, and that's always a great time. What else we got, Tony?
So we got Mountain West, Overland Expo Mountain West. That's basically the last weekend of August 26th through the 28th. It's at a huge place called The Ranch in Loveland, Colorado.
And you and your wife attended that
We did.
last year, right?
We did.
How was that?
It was it was really big. There was lots of cool stuff to look at, but it was absolutely hot. We thought we were going to escape the heat of Arkansas, and we got there, and it was just as hot as it was here.
You know, when you talk about Colorado, you don't usually talk about getting too hot.
No,
not that high.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, so we stayed a few hours, visited, and looked at some things, and I think that's where I got my tool roll from step 22.
Mm-hmm.
And then we headed back up into the mountains.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't blame you there. You there. And then we're going to be moving out east, out towards Porker's neck of the woods, and Overland Expo East is October 7th through the 9th. And that is in Arrington, Virginia, at Oak Ridge Estates. That is usually a little cooler out there in Virginia in October. So that's that's a beautiful time to get out there. The leaves are changing. And how far is that from you, Porker? Do you know?
It's about 7 hours, I think. The last time I checked, if it's the same place they had it last year, it's about 7 hours away.
Okay.
I plan on going this year, though, unlike last year.
Whoa.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that. A couple years ago, that was the Mud Fest. They had it at some ranch out there, and it rained and rained and rained and rained, and there was 4-wheel drives getting stuck right in the middle of the road. It was awesome. So
Sounds like Rendezvous last year.
yeah, they have since moved that to a different area where that won't happen again. So anyway, that's the last of the big expos that we have, and we're going to talk about some other events that we have, but right now we're going to pause real quick for station identification. Here we go, Professor.
Hi, I'm Barry Henderson with Turtleback Trailers.
I'm Adam with Okie Overland.
This is John with Long Creek Overland.
I'm Drew with Rock Squash Design. I'm Casey with US Action Tracks.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Misty from The Day We Were Made.
I'm Jeremiah from Overland Pioneer.
Hi, we're Jessica and Jorge, Limerick Wonder.
It's Chris from More Expo.
I'm Misty from Lady Overlander Radio.
You're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
You're watching.
Are watching.
You're watching.
And you're watching BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
Professor and Friends.
Joey the BROfessor and Friends. BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
To the Professor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
Professor and
Friends.
Sponsored by Artemis Overland Hardware. More Expo, April 8th through the 10th, 2022 in Springfield, Missouri. Tack Farm, Blue Sail Coffee Roasters, Linson Solar, Howling Moon Tents and Awnings, Big Iron Overland Rally, June 10th through the 12th, Mountain Hatch, Lifesaver Water Filters, MC Ranch Overland, Snowmaster Frigid, EcoFlow, Timbo Tuss Scottles, Dial Dynamics Lighting, and our good friends at Midland Radio. Thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. No pros, just bros on this show. Here we go.
Oh man, that was.
I love
I
it.
made that video today. Had to edit it a little bit, get some new people in there, and get some people out. So that was always fun.
Killing it today on the videos.
Yeah, I was killing it. Killing it.
Love it.
You're on it.
I don't know what I actually did at work, but I did a lot of videos. But I appreciate
You
that.
recovered. You recovered from returning from COVID.
Yeah. You know, I told him, I said, I've been sick. I'm not coming to work. I'm just coming because I have to be here. So anyway.
I mean, you had COVID, and all you did last week was put a lift kit on and some sliders and a bumper and 2 swing outs. I mean,
hey, let me tell you, I only went home because they made me go home. Okay. And I didn't feel bad at all for what I was doing because it was their fault that I was there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Oh man, we got a lot of really cool local events that we go to every year. And some of these are do not miss events that we go to. The first one is going to be April 30th through May 1st, Natural State Overland Bonfire Rendezvous. This is a very simple but fun event that we go to. They do a bonfire. They have some giveaways. But really, it's just a time to get together and see people you only see for 2 or 3 times a year. It's held at Bird's Adventure Center up in Oark, and we just gather around. And last year, it rained like the dickens, like pouring pee out of a boot. I mean, it was just the bottom of my ladder on my rooftop tent was underwater. My toilet was underwater. It was, we picked our spot poorly. That's what we did. But this year it's going to be at, tell me where it's going to be.
Mulberry Mountain.
Mulberry Mountain. That's right.
Yeah.
Mulberry Mountain. It's going to be in a different spot. So April 30th through May 1st. That's cool. And then we have another one of our sponsors, Big Iron Overland Rally, June 10th through the 12th. This is in West Mineral, Kansas, at Big Brutus. Porker's going to be there this year.
I can't wait.
Tickets. It's going to be fun. This event is not like any other that we go to. It is one where they have a bunch of bands that come in, and they run the gamut from bluegrass to 80s hair bands. I mean, it's every kind of music you could possibly think of. jamming late into the night. We gathered around the fire and just had a big time. I love it.
Man, I hope they have some of those same guys back. The Arkansas and Sequel Dose. Love those guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely, just love them.
They
Hey,
had
Mason.
some. He had some awesome bands there. Mason, man, glad that you're here. Mason from Blue Line Overland. Blue Line Overland did a great job of providing toys to a whole bunch of kids this past year. He and the officers who are a member of Blue Line Overland, which I am a part of. And actually, Tony went on the campsite with us. Went on the camp out with us, and so he's a big supporter.
Great time.
So we love Mason Berry. Mason, you are a dear friend and a big supporter.
Yeah,
big support.
Yep.
The Lady Overlander Radio Camping Retreat that Misty Tokarski, which is with the Day We Make, is having an event June 16th through the 19th at Gypsy Camp. This is going to be pretty cool, I think, for the ladies. This is a ladies only event, and they're going to get together and camp and cook and have Switchback Safety is going to come in and teach some classes on safety. They're going to canoe down a river and hopefully not kill themselves. And I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, they're going to have to get ready for that event, and we're not going to be here.
No.
Arla and Connie?
Arla and Connie's going to be there.
They're going to be at that women's retreat, but we're going to be gone.
Gone.
We're going to meet them. I'm getting that confused with coming back for Big Iron. We'll talk about that later. Sorry.
Oh man. Connie says, hey Mason. Hey, we got somebody from Tortoise Overland. Thank you for being here, Michael Lathwood. Wherever you are, appreciate you being here. Connie says, we got this. We are big girls.
That's right.
Well, Connie has talked to me about helping her with her food so she won't starve to death. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of. We got her tent already and everything else. So we'll figure it out.
Send Teflon.
Yeah. Send Teflon. Girl power. That's right. Girl power.
Right.
And then one of our favorites that we have every year, October 13th through the 15th, is going to be Rendezvous in the Ozarks. This is one of our best events that we love going to. It, again, is put on by Natural State Overland. It's going to be on Mulberry Mountain. This year, they're moving it to where it originally started. And so that's going to be pretty fun, I think. And then we also have, I don't know if you have this where you are, Porker, if they've started these up. Do you have any rigs and coffee that meet out where you are?
Well, last year when I went to Adventure X Fest with Mass State Overland, they had Rigs and Coffee was there with a couple of vendors. I tried to reach out to Jason today to see what the plan was for 2022 and didn't hear back from him, but I would imagine they would be at this one as well.
Well, this is Rigs and Coffee is actually a trademarked name, and what they do is you contact them and they approve. All you got to have is a place to meet and a place to provide coffee, and then they create all your banners for you. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything, but you just start advertising. We're going to have a Rigs and Coffee at such and such place on the first Saturday of every month. And then you get it started. And so we have one first Saturday of every month that meets at Artemis in Springfield. Northwest Arkansas, Rigs and Coffee meets at the Hub Bike Lounge in Bentonville. That's the second Saturday of every month. And then the third Saturday of every month, Central Arkansas meets at Guillermo's Coffee in Little Rock. So we have one almost every week of the month within driving distance of where we are. So if you're interested in setting one up where you are, just contact Rigs and Coffee and send them a message and tell them what you want to do, and they'll get with you and they'll approve it. They'll put you on their website. They'll create ads for you, and it doesn't cost you a thing. And it's a great tool to just meet people and get people to come out, show the rigs, just get together for an hour or two on one Saturday a month, and it's fun. We always have a good time at it. Always get to see some cool rigs.
Yeah, and sometimes it leads to trail rides and campouts afterwards. So
yeah, I think the one in Little Rock does a trail ride every single time after theirs is over. So
it's cool.
it's a cool thing. It is a really cool thing. But so that's all the events that we have planned on the calendar for this year. Now we do have some trips other than and look here, we have Misty is on here from The Day We Make.
Hey,
Hey,
Barefoot
Misty.
Overlander is what she is on Instagram. Misty is the one who's putting together the ladies only Overland retreat this year, and we just talked about that, Misty. Hopefully you heard that, but that's awesome. Misty and her husband Joe are some dear friends of mine. Love them to death. We've camped several times together. They are full-time Overlanders. They have a little place in Arizona, and they also have family in Florida, but they go everywhere and they drive a lot to see a bunch of cool places. So look them up on Instagram, look them up on Facebook, The Day We Make, and give them a follow. You will love following them and their 3 kids as they journey across the United States. But man, I tell you what, I am excited about some trips that we have. We just got back from South Texas. And right after we got back from South Texas, we planned a trip to go see Porker in West Virginia. Now, I'm pretty pumped about this. I've been out there a couple times. Tony has never been to West Virginia.
Never been past Southeast Kentucky.
Wow.
So
you're going to get past it this time.
Yeah, little way.
This
and
is
be ready for some cuisine you've never had before.
That's right. We'll get out there and eat some ramps and some great pizza. And
that great pizza is all Joey and Sasha. Connie and I, not so much. We participate, but it's mainly Sasha and Joey.
Hey, my buddy Michael, he may still be watching, but he put me on to pineapple and jalapenos on pizza. That's
good.
Like weird
combination. Pizza Hut here has the pineapple pizzas quite often, but grapes.
Well,
I'm not a really huge grape fan. I'll eat them, but
if you like fruit on pizza, you will love grape pizza.
I love grapes, so we'll see.
Unbelievable.
Now, ramps, I've never had ramps. I'm looking forward to checking that out.
Well, Sasha will make you a ramp casserole that be a breakfast casserole. They'll just blow your mind. It's so good. So good. So we love going out there and going to all the little shops and getting the food out there that we don't get to. You actually got to get a taste of my yellow-eyed peas when we were in South Texas.
Yeah.
So those are good. So we always bring back a bunch of those.
Those were awful good.
But
awful good.
I think Porker has a few things in store for us while we're out there. He's going to take us to.
I want to see that gorge. You've been telling me about the gorge where the bridge and they got the F-16s that can fly under. I want to see that.
Yeah, we'll definitely go there. Now it's not nothing we're going to, get any off-roading on. It's paved road, but we'll go underneath it. And you can take some pictures with your rig sitting on an old bridge that overlooks the one that's almost 900 feet tall. It'll be an experience.
Is that a national park or is it state land?
It is now a national park.
Oh,
so it'll be a little stampy.
Little stamp on your book.
No, yeah, you get a stamp, but there's no drones.
No drones. And I guess since we're going to be that close to it, might as well take him to the ghost town. Let him get some photos there. But I got a few things planned for us.
Heck yeah, let's do it. I'm excited.
I can't wait for you guys to get here.
Yeah, he's been showing us some videos about doing some water crossings and some off-road stuff, and has a little campsite picked out for us.
God, I love that route.
Really, really excited about doing that. So it's going to be a great trip. West Virginia has been put down on my list of one of my favorite states. There's not a straight road in the whole state. You're always staring at your hind end whenever you're driving. It's up and down, side to side, just constantly.
And there is tons of roads here. We're not nationally known on the Onyx app But there's a couple of us guys here that are guides that are trying to put West Virginia on the map because we have so many roads here. Just taking them a little while to catch up to our routes that's been uploaded. But if you're using Onyx, you're not going to see 8 or 10 trails here in West Virginia just because there's nobody out here doing it. But trust me, there's a plenty to gander on here.
Beautiful areas out there in the Monongahela National Forest that you're real close to, and so it's a lot of beautiful area out there. In fact, there's not a place that you can go that's not beautiful. When I was out there last time, we got to visit our friends at Orange Box that have done a lot of work for me on a lot of my mole panels that I've got in my FJ, and then we actually got to go to where they filmed Andy Griffith's show. We went to Mount Pilot and we ate at Aunt Bee's kitchen. That was cool.
Good.
That was cool. Now that was not in West Virginia. I think that was in North Carolina.
North Carolina, yep.
Yeah, so we actually drove to North Carolina one day and got to go to Mount Pilot and Aunt Bee's kitchen. That was pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. But and there's a lot of things to see. That New River Gorge is
breathtaking.
It's
846 feet high. In October, they didn't the last 2 years because of COVID, but it's a 4-lane interstate highway. They shut it down for one day of the year, and people come from all over the world, Australia, all over the place, to base jump off of that bridge. And they call it Bridge Day, obviously, but COVID's kind of messed that up for the last 2 years. But it is a freak of nature. It was the world's largest single arc bridge for the longest time. Now there's one just a little bit longer, thanks to Japan, but we held the record for a while anyway, right here in West Virginia, 20 minutes from the house.
Nice.
It's right there, real close. There's actually a little hike that we did. Bruiser made it all the way to it and back, but
I can do it. I can do it.
To get out there to see the overlook. There's a waterfall that you see down there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. We love it out there, and so
is that a call sign on Michael's name there? It looks like a ham call sign. It looks like a ham radio call sign.
N3 MFL.
Yep.
Yep.
WV8T here.
Yeah, WV8T. Give him a follow. Where's that at? Florida? Is that a Florida?
It could be anywhere, but generally the 3s are south of me. But
Michael,
literally,
let us know where you're from. He says he owns some property near Mount Jewett. Oh, there's no mountains in Florida, so I doubt it's Florida. So,
where's the Allegheny National Forest? That sounds familiar, but I can't picture it off the top of my head.
I don't know. We'll have to get him to tell us where he's from. Maybe in the comments it'll come up there. But not only, let's see, we're going there in March, so I don't know if you realize this. He's in Massachusetts. Okay. In the Northeast. That's nobody uses call signs on GMRS.
No.
Nope. Not on GMRS, we don't. Northwest Pennsylvania is where he's at. Okay. So he's up near the Adirondacks, I would guess. Up in that Allegheny National Forest. Okay, cool. Awesome. Beautiful up there. Beautiful. I've always wanted to be in the Adirondacks in the fall. I've seen pictures of how beautiful the colors are up there. And it's beautiful. It's stinking cold up there right now. We got friends up there. They've been posting how much snow they've got and how cold it is. And probably not a lot of camping going on up there right now.
Probably not. Not even fun camping anyway.
Tony, I don't know if you realize this, but it's less than 2 months before we go to West Virginia. So whatever you need to get done, get her done. 2 months.
Thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I had no idea that it was less than 2 months already. It's crazy.
But yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. Let's see. Mike, MC Ranch Overland Inc., VA Jevin 7-AJC. We should try 80 meter one day.
Oh,
look at there.
MC Ranch is another ham radio operator.
He is talking in language I don't know. That's all Spanish to me. So, yeah, I'm sure he would love to visit with you, Porker. VA 7-AJC. So that's cool. We got the hams coming out tonight, so we can all have some communication. But yeah, it's less than 2 months before we go to West Virginia. So pretty pumped about that. Taking a week off and heading out there and going to visit everybody. But the big trip that we have coming is going to be the week before Big Iron. So about the 4th or 5th, I think Porker is actually going to take some time a little earlier than that and head west. And going to
I'm calling it the Go West.
The Go West trip.
Go West trip.
Now this is an interesting topic of conversation for me because we talked about this right after Christmas, I guess, and maybe it was right around Christmas. I can't remember when we started talking about maybe taking a trip out west. But you ended up getting your tickets to Big Iron, and it just kind of blossomed from there, didn't it?
It did. And, I've been wanting to do this type of an adventure for some time and never really been in a spot to be able to do it. But, Sasha and I talked a little bit. The Big Iron was happening come hell or high waters this year because I've heard y'all talk about it so much. I was going to that regardless. And then you guys started talking about Wyoming, and then the mouse started churning. I'm like, Wyoming, I've never been there. It's close to Montana where I really want to go. So it just went on from there, and I've decided to make an entire month of it. I'll leave here scheduled the 1st, probably sooner than the 1st, and head west, meet you guys in St. Louis on the 2nd or 3rd, and then I'll just need to be back in Tennessee and win the 24th.
Yeah.
The 24th, and then after that, you never know.
Well, we had talked about going somewhere and then coming back and heading back to Big Iron on the way back home. And so that's kind of where it started, and Tony and I had talked about it. And I believe that Aaron with Artemis is going to go with us. We're going to go out to the southern part of Wyoming, and it was highly recommended to me from a friend who lived out there for quite a while. So just above the Colorado-Wyoming border is a range of mountains that I really want to explore and see. I've never camped in Wyoming. I've been there, but I've been to the national park that's up there, and we just went by and on motorcycles we rode by and saw the Devil's Tower, which is just across the border from South Dakota. So, oh my gosh, look at here.
Yeah, I know.
Joe and Misty says they'll go with us too.
Right on.
Here's a couple that never has any plans, and so you just mention something to them, and they're like, "Okay, we'll go." And so anyway, awesome. they may join us as well. But yeah, we're going to go out there. I think we're going to leave the 4th or 5th, whatever that Friday is.
I think it's the 4th.
From Artemis and Springfield, the 4th.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to get out there. We're going to see a few things. There's a few things that Jason Harris has posted in Kansas that I really want to see. And they've got some real neat rock formations, some old castle-looking things. And so that is absolutely on my list to see on the way out there. And it's actually not far off the interstate. So we should be able to see that. And Tony's got a great place for us to camp just outside of Denver. Y'all stayed there last year when you went on the way to Mountain West.
Yeah, buddy. It's a killer view of Estes Park. I mean, when we got there, we drove all day. We got there after dark and parked, and then we got up the next morning after, a night full of a thunderstorm and a black bear. But we got up the next morning, and we just couldn't believe the view was just
that's what I'm looking for. West Virginia is beautiful, but I'm looking for one of those videos you see online where you unzip the tent and it's just that's what I'm looking for on my West trip.
We actually, where we parked, we were interested in finding the first available campsite, so we parked, and I got up and hiked around the next morning, and just over the little rock pile that we were camped next to is a bigger open area that kind of jutted out just a little bit, and looked like a nice spot, where you could circle around a fire, and
nice.
I know exactly where we're going to stay if that's an appropriate, time frame. As far as what time of day we're traveling through that area, it'd be a great place to stay.
Well, I hope we can make that work.
I've never wished time to pass by quickly until now. I wished I'd wake up and it'd be June tomorrow because I am so looking forward to this.
Yeah. It has been one of those things where I've just I come to, with my job, I get off all of June and July, and I live for those 2 months. And this year I've got things planned. I really didn't get to. The past 2 years have not been great because of COVID and things being shut down, not being able to get into some states, not being able to do things when you get there. And Misty says they have quite a few epic spots marked there. So I actually was going to get with Joe to see where they had been and if they had already been to some pretty epic spots. So
don't threaten us with a good time.
We might have us a convoy going.
Yeah, that's right. Might have us a convoy, but this summer, COVID or not, I'm real excited because we're just going to go. We're just going to go. It's just one of those things where it's working out. Where I've got the vacation time, I've got the time off, and we're just going to go. And we picked out this place in Wyoming because it was close enough to Kansas where we could get back to Big Iron Overland Route. We could stay out there 5 or 6 days. And then I know Joe and Misty are going to Big Iron as well. But then it kind of snowballed into, Ronnie said, I've got a few more days. Why don't you go out there and let's go out there some more. Let's not come home just yet.
Yeah.
And I just happened to tell that to Tony the other night. He wasn't very excited about that.
I do not like what you're telling me right now. Because I'm going to have to come home.
We'll send you pictures.
And go back. Yeah.
We'll send you pictures.
So, we're not these guys who get into the hardcore off-road. We want some epic spots. We want some beautiful camp spots. Get away from everybody and see all that there is to see. Porker wants to go over to some high passes, see the big mountains, the snow-covered mountains that are out there. So that's his dream. So that's where we plan on going.
Everybody has their own taste of how you call overlanding or whatever you label it as. I personally am not seeking wheeling, rocking, and tearing the rocker panels off my ride. The mud, I'm not going to seek it, but I'm not going to run from it. But to me, I want to hit some forest roads, some, whatever. I'm not looking to tear my rig up because it's a daily driver for me, and it's got to last a while because I got a lot of money tied up in it. And
don't we all?
It's going to have to last a while. So that's where I'm at.
I think we've got a perfect plan. We're gonna head back towards Denver, go down towards Buena Vista. The good thing about that area is it's all national forest, every bit of it. So anytime you see a dirt road coming off the highway, you can stop. It is beautiful, beautiful. So there's not really a bad place to go, but we're going to go over the pass just west of Buena Vista, go down in towards Gunnison, and then take our time, and then probably hit the Great Sand Dunes, go over Medano Pass, and just take our time and see all we can see, and just have a super time. Neither one of us have to be back until like the 24th, so we'll have another week or two to play around and see what all we can get into and just have a great time. So, oh no, Sasha's
Oh,
come
no.
back and talking about a lot of money. What I miss?
Nothing. Not a thing.
Well, this is another thing that I kind of wanted to get into without getting you in any trouble, Porter. But I know that y'all have sat down and talked about this, and you have talked about this. You just got this Tacoma, and you're going on a trip of a lifetime. Tell us about all that you have been through to get this vehicle ready for this trip.
Oh man, I don't know if we got that much time left in the show, but it's been a process. You know, I'm fortunate that I own an upfitter business, so we're familiar with the.
Oh, we didn't lose him.
Oh no,
We may have just lost him. Right in the middle of his speech too.
Right there. Am I back?
There he is.
there you
Am I
are.
back?
You're back. You're back.
Okay. Well, I don't know how far I got into it, but you know, owning the business, we're familiar with how to tear these cars apart and do them right. But it is the biggest undertaking as far as a vehicle that I've ever taken in my life. To me, and you know, it's bad timing for her to come back for me to even start talking about this. But
Well, you don't have
vehicle,
to get into the financial part of it.
well, not even that, but the vehicle to me is a tool. It is a to B. You know, the Bronco, less than a week, I already had West Virginia pinstriping on it. Didn't care. Her vehicle, her 4Runner, day 3, we had it in the woods. To me, they're a tool. So I don't take the pride as I should with all the money we have tied up in them, cleaning them, washing them, and all that. That to me, it's not me. I get in it and go, and I need it to go. I need it to go. I don't care what it looks like. Just need it to get me where I'm going. But, you know, I did so many things wrong on the Bronco. I said with this one, I was going to plan before I reacted, because I reacted a lot on the Bronco and it hurt in the long run because it was just thousands of dollars wasted. I'm not even going to read that comment. It was a lot of money wasted.
That's actually a good comment.
Is it?
Buddy. That's
Oh,
good.
well, it is.
She says we joke a lot, but in all honesty, I will do whatever it takes to make this happen for it.
And she has been
Spend
awesome.
Whatever. I'm happy for him to have this opportunity.
She's been awesome, and I gotta dedicate it to her, because we sat down and we made a plan. I need a lot. I've already got a lot. You know, we pretty much stayed on script except for a few things that I got that I probably didn't need, but for the most part, we're staying the course. She knows what I need, and we're going to have it ready before I take out of here in June. You know, the biggest thing left will be the rooftop tent. And then I've got to get some sort of way to haul my spare tire, because it won't fit underneath my vehicle anymore, because I went from a 265 to a 285. So it's just shy of 33-inch tire from, you know, a stock 16-inch wheel. So couple big expenditures still left, and then, you know, a little nitpicking thing here and there. But for the most part, the truck's ready for a tent to be mounted on it. Hopefully it'll happen in March. And then other than that, I just need June 1st to get here.
I hear you.
Yeah, but
you know, and we were talking about this the other night. Actually, I called you on the way home from Tony's and putting my lift on. You know, my assistant principal at my school where I work at every day, she says, "How old is your car?" Well, it's 15 years old. How many miles does it have on it? Well, it's got almost 200,000 miles on it. And you put how much money into it? You know, and we talk about that all the time. But the people that don't do this don't understand that you're right. This vehicle that we own is the number one tool that brings us this joy, that gives us the opportunity to live this lifestyle. It's got to be in tip-top shape. It's got to have the stuff that you need. And I understand what an undertaking it has been to get your vehicle ready. You know, to get the rack on there, to get a way to keep your food cold, to have a way to cook, to have shelter, thinking about that. And it's not something that you take lightly.
No.
You said you made that mistake with the last vehicle. This time you're almost over the top researching and seeing what would fit the best and asking people, what do you use? What do you recommend? Different things like that. Tony and I talk all the time, and most of the time after he and I talk, one of us ends up buying something.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And when you and I talk, one of us ends up usually buying something. So, we were just talking yesterday or day before yesterday about showering. How are we going to shower? Because I'm like you, I have to have a shower. I can't
Gotta
go
have
for
a shower.
days without a shower.
Mm-mm.
And so I told you about this little cheap shower system that I use, and and it's easy to heat water. It's easy to take a shower. It takes a little bit, but you got to do what you got to do. So, you research these things and figure out what you need, and you do your best to get out there and get it and prepare yourself the best you can. But the number one thing is go. Just get out there
and you really don't need, to the extent that I'm building my vehicle, it's not really needed, because I was able to get out with the Bronco. It was a foot and something shorter, closer to the ground than my Taco is, but it didn't stop us from getting out to where we could go and doing this type.
I know, Sasha. Every time we talk, it costs you money. Well, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm
gonna need some more overtime.
I've still got a bunch of money to spend on a stinking air conditioner.
Yeah, well, that's coming from your wife. So she wants to
make
be
her happy.
comfortable. You make sure she's comfortable.
Yeah. That to me, that's not me. The if she needed it for comfortability, then we'd make a way to get it. But to me, I've camped for so long. I mean, I'm 53 years old and I've been going since single digits. And, I've slept in the hottest of summers and the coldest of winters in a tent or a camper. So to me, a fan serves me just fine. If it is too cold that the buddy heater won't keep me warm, I probably shouldn't be out there. Not saying that I won't buy a diesel heater.
They cutting out on us again.
Oh no.
Cutting out on us again.
Is that me or y'all?
We're still here and you're gone, so I guess it's you.
Well, see, y'all disappeared and I was still here, so it's hard to tell. But anywho, I'm not saying that I will or won't purchase those. If it would make her more comfortable, obviously we'd have to do that, because again, we're in transitioning her over from the Marriott to being out in the elements. So
I completely understand that, because the first time me and Connie went out together, we about froze to stinking death. I mean, it was so cold. And she looked at me that night and she said, if we're going to keep doing this, we're going to need to make some upgrades. And we came home and made some upgrades, and we've since upgraded some more. So it's one of those things where if you want to do it bad enough, you'll make it where you can and make it enjoyable. Because if it's not enjoyable, you're not going to go. And that's one of the big things. When
we went to Colorado 2 years, I guess not this last time, but the time before, we camped and we froze to death. We had, ice and frost and stuff on the inside of the tent. We upgraded the very next day.
Yeah.
Went right straight to a hotel. It was a huge upgrade.
Oh my goodness. I remember, I bet it was almost, my oldest daughter and I think she was 8, so it'll be about 19, 20 years ago. She and I were camped on top of Mount Nebo, and we were up there and it was hot and we were getting eat up by mosquitoes. And I looked at her and I said, if you don't tell your mama, I will gladly go get us a hotel room right now. She said, let's go, Dad. So, if you're not comfortable, it's not fun. So we do everything we can to make it comfortable for us and our wives, because it brings us joy when we get out there and have a good time. That's just part of it. But man, I'm excited about our trips. I'm excited about West Virginia. I'm excited about Wyoming, Colorado, and everywhere else that we could possibly go. I hope everybody out there has some things planned this year and get out, because, we can talk about this all day about building our rigs up and having everything we need, but it's really worthless unless you go.
Yeah.
So get out there and plan some trips and get out there and enjoy it and meet some people that are like-minded. And one of the best ways you can do that is one of these events that we talked about. Get out there and go to one of these events and just get out there and have a great time.
And if you guys are there and you haven't met us, come by and say hi. Come by and say hi. If you see us at one of these events, we'd love to meet you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I do want to throw out there before we go, Artemis is having a big giveaway right now. They are giving away one of the largest awnings, 270 awnings I've ever seen in my life. I actually have one. It's on our trailer. Go to my Instagram. You can see pictures of it everywhere. It is the Howling Moon 2.5 meter awning, and he is having a giveaway right now. So go to Artemis Overland on Instagram or look him up on Facebook and sign up. It's pretty easy, and we will have a drawing on Valentine's Day, and the winner will be able to look at his wife and say, "Babe, guess what I just got us."
Hi.
So as long as you're in the continental United States, he will ship that to you, get out to you, and would love for you to have that experience of that, because it is friggin' amazing. But man,
and make sure you follow us on our podcast. We've got some giveaways coming up too.
We do have quite a few giveaways coming up. We've got some of our sponsors that have donated things to us. We got some middle stuff coming. I've got some rhino rack stuff here. We've got all kinds of stuff that we're going to be giving away, and it's going to be easy. So all you got to do is watch the show, and you may win some stuff. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
But Porker, man, I appreciate you coming on the show with us. It's been
I had a blast.
joy to have you.
Thanks for the invite, guys. Can't wait till see you in March, and I've had a lot of fun tonight.
Apparently, it's only 2 months away.
Yeah, it ain't that long.
See, you better be ready.
We're going to wake up and it's going to be here, and I am very excited, very excited. So, but until then, we'll be back next week.
Next week. Who we got next week?
Talk about who we got next week, Tony.
We have Chris with Fast Rack Overland.
Awesome.
He'll be on here. We'll talk about his adventures, and he camps with a cat. He's got a cat that he takes camping with him.
Wow.
A shop cat.
Bruiser would like that.
Yeah. He's a crazy dude. He's funny. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good time.
All right. Well, join us next week as we have Chris Carroll on with Fast Track Overland.
Yep.
And it'll be good times, I promise you. He is a hoot, and you will not want to miss him. So in between now and then, I hope everybody has a great rest of your night. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. Get out there and enjoy life while you still have time. Always bro pose. Look out for number 1 and don't step in number 2. Hope you have a BROfessor and Friends 2022. Woo-woo.
Thank you for watching.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends. Joey the BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.
BROfessor and Friends.